Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today's video is dedicated to a small coin with a big story, the 1978 mint mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel from the United States of America. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary pocket change coin, something you've seen hundreds of times. But behind its simple design lies a rich history, detailed craftsmanship, and a level of collector interest that continues to grow year after year. This video is specially crafted for coin lovers, history enthusiasts, and collectors who want to understand why this nickel matters and what gives it its lasting appeal. Historical background of the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson 5-cent nickel has been part of American coinage for decades, symbolizing both national heritage and everyday commerce. Introduced to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, this coin represents the values of democracy, intellect, and leadership. By 1978, the Jefferson nickel was already a well-established part of American life, passing through countless hands, pockets, and cash registers across the nation. The year 1978 holds its own place in American history. It was a time of cultural shifts, economic adjustments, and changing public attitudes. Coins minted during this period serve as miniature time capsules, preserving the essence of that era in metal form. The 1978 Jefferson nickel is no exception, offering collectors a tangible connection to the late 20th century. Design and artistic details. One of the most attractive aspects of the 1978 Jefferson nickel is its timeless design. The obverse side features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, carefully sculpted to convey dignity and intelligence. His expression is calm yet thoughtful, reminding viewers of his role as a philosopher, statesman, and visionary leader. The inscriptions surrounding the portrait reinforce national identity and trust, making the design both symbolic and meaningful. On the reverse side, Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia home, takes center stage. The structure is depicted with clean lines and balanced proportions, showcasing the architectural elegance that Jefferson himself designed. The steps, columns, and dome-like roof are rendered with precision, making the reverse design a favorite among collectors who appreciate fine detail. Even small elements, such as lettering and spacing, contribute to the overall harmony of the coin. Mint marks and their importance. Mint marks play a crucial role in the story of any coin, and the 1978 Jefferson nickel is no different. These small letters indicate where the coin was produced, and they help collectors identify variations within the same year. Each mint facility followed strict standards, yet subtle differences can occur, making certain examples more desirable than others. Collectors often study mint marks to understand production history, distribution patterns, and rarity. The presence or absence of a mint mark can significantly influence how a coin is perceived within the numismatic community. For the 1978 Jefferson nickel, mint marks add another layer of intrigue, encouraging collectors to examine their coins closely and appreciate the nuances of U.S. coin production, metal composition, and durability. The 1978 Jefferson 5-cent nickel is composed of a durable alloy designed for long-term circulation. This composition ensures that the coin can withstand years of handling while retaining its essential features. The balance between strength and workability allowed the U.S. Mint to produce large quantities without sacrificing quality. From a collector's perspective, the metal composition also affects how the coin ages over time. Toning, luster, and surface texture can change depending on storage conditions and handling. These natural changes often add character, and in some cases, visual appeal. Understanding the metal makeup helps collectors better preserve their coins and appreciate the subtle transformations that occur with age. Condition and collector appeal. Condition is one of the most important factors in determining the appeal of a 1978 Jefferson nickel. Coins that retain sharp details, clean surfaces, and original luster are especially attractive to collectors. Even minor differences in condition can dramatically alter how a coin is viewed within the hobby. Uncirculated examples, in particular, are admired for their pristine appearance and strong visual impact. These coins often showcase the design exactly as it appeared when it left the mint, making them highly desirable. Collectors carefully inspect elements such as Jefferson's hair, facial features, and the steps of Monticello to assess quality and preservation. Why collectors value the 1978 Jefferson nickel. The value of the 1978 Jefferson nickel is not based solely on age or appearance. Its worth is tied to a combination of historical significance, minting quality, and collector demand. Coins from this period represent a transitional era in American society, adding emotional and historical depth to their appeal. Additionally, Jefferson nickels are widely collected as part of complete date and mint sets. The 1978 issue plays a vital role in completing these collections, making it an essential piece for dedicated numismatists. Its availability allows new collectors to enter the hobby, while its finer examples continue to attract seasoned experts. Educational and cultural significance beyond collecting, the 1978 Jefferson nickel serves as an educational tool. It introduces people to American history, presidential legacy, and the art of coin design. Teachers, historians, and parents often use coins like this to spark curiosity and discussion about the past. Culturally, the coin reflects the values and priorities of the United States during the late 1970s. It embodies continuity, tradition, and respect for foundational figures. Holding this nickel is like holding a small piece of national identity, preserved in metal and passed down through generations. Long-term interest and legacy interest in the 1978 Jefferson nickel continues to grow as more people discover the joy of coin collecting. Whether found in old collections, inherited sets, or personal savings, this coin often becomes a gateway into deeper numismatic exploration. Its story encourages patience, research, and appreciation for detail. As time moves forward, coins like the 1978 Jefferson nickel gain new layers of meaning. They become reminders of past eras and symbols of enduring craftsmanship. Collectors understand that each coin carries a journey, from minting press to circulation, and finally into the hands of someone who recognizes its significance. Conclusion: the United States of America 1978 mint mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel is far more than a simple piece of currency. It is a blend of history, art, and lasting value. Its design honors a great American figure, its production reflects the standards of its time, and its collector appeal continues to thrive. For those who take the time to study and appreciate it, this nickel offers a rewarding experience that goes beyond money. Today's journey is all about the United States of America 1984 D mint mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel, a coin that many people overlook, yet one that carries a fascinating story and a surprising sense of worth. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may never look at a nickel the same way again. Setting the historical stage: to truly understand this coin, we must travel back in time. The year 1984 was a defining period in American history. The United States was moving through a decade marked by technological growth, cultural shifts, and economic transformation. It was a time when personal computers were slowly entering homes, music and fashion were evolving rapidly, and optimism mixed with uncertainty shaped daily life. In the middle of all this change, the United States Mint continued its steady work, producing coins that would quietly pass through millions of hands. Among them was the Jefferson 5-cent nickel struck at the Denver Mint, proudly carrying the D mint mark as a sign of its origin. The legacy of the Jefferson nickel: the Jefferson nickel itself has a rich legacy that began decades earlier. First introduced in the late 1930s, it replaced the Buffalo nickel and brought with it a more refined and historically focused design. Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of the United States, was chosen for the obverse, symbolizing intellect, independence, and democratic ideals. His home, Monticello, appeared on the reverse, representing vision, architecture, and personal legacy. By 1984, this design had become familiar, comforting, and deeply embedded in American culture. Yet each year of production added its own subtle chapter to the story, design details that matter. When we look closely at the 1984 D Jefferson nickel, the details begin to shine. On the front, Jefferson's profile faces left, calm and composed. The inscriptions surrounding him are crisp, reflecting the mint's dedication to quality. The reverse showcases Monticello with balanced symmetry, its steps and structure carefully engraved. Even though millions of these coins were produced, each one carries tiny differences that collectors love to study. The placement of the mint mark, the sharpness of the lettering, and the overall strike quality all contribute to the coin's individual character. The significance of the D mint mark: the D mint mark is more than just a letter. It represents the Denver Mint, a facility known for its high production standards and efficiency. Coins struck in Denver often display strong details and consistent quality, making them appealing to collectors who value precision. For the 1984 Jefferson nickel, the D mint mark connects the coin to a specific place and process, grounding it in the physical reality of American minting history. This small letter transforms a simple nickel into a traceable artifact with a clear origin story. Circulation versus preservation. Most 1984 D Jefferson nickels were made for everyday use. They traveled through cash registers, pockets, and purses, buying small items and facilitating daily transactions. Over time, many became worn, scratched, or discolored, losing some of their original luster. However, a select number were carefully preserved, either by collectors who recognized their potential or by chance circumstances that kept them safe from heavy use. These well-preserved examples are where the conversation about value truly begins. What collectors look for. Collectors see beyond face value. They examine surfaces, edges, and details with trained eyes. For the 1984 D Jefferson nickel, collectors often focus on strike quality, clarity of design, and overall condition. A coin that retains strong detail and minimal wear tells a story of care and rarity. Even small differences in appearance can set one example apart from thousands of others. This attention to detail is what transforms a common coin into a subject of serious interest. The emotional connection to coins. Coins are not just metal objects, they are emotional time capsules. Holding a 1984 D Jefferson nickel can spark memories for those who lived during that era. It might remind someone of childhood purchases, family trips, or the simple joy of collecting change. For younger collectors, it offers a tangible connection to a past they did not experience firsthand. This emotional dimension adds depth to the coin's appeal, making it more than just an item to be bought or sold. The role of condition and rarity. While the 1984 D Jefferson nickel is not rare in terms of production numbers, rarity can emerge through condition. Coins that survive in exceptional shape become increasingly scarce over time. As years pass, fewer high-quality examples remain, elevating their desirability among collectors. This gradual narrowing of supply is one of the most fascinating aspects of coin collecting, turning everyday objects into sought-after treasures. Market interest and long-term appeal. Interest in Jefferson nickels has grown steadily as collectors seek to complete sets and explore variations within the series. The 1984 D issue holds a special place because it represents a mature stage in the classic design era, just before later changes would alter the look of the nickel. This position in the timeline gives it lasting appeal. Collectors appreciate its balance of familiarity and historical context, making it a meaningful addition to any collection. Why this coin deserves attention. It is easy to dismiss a 5-cent coin as insignificant, but doing so overlooks the layers of history and craftsmanship it represents. The 1984 D Jefferson nickel embodies a specific moment in American minting, economic life, and cultural identity. Its design honors a founding father, its mint mark ties it to a proud institution, and its survival in collectible condition tells a story of preservation against the odds. Final reflection before the reveal. As we reach the end of our journey, take a moment to reflect on how something so small can hold so much meaning. Coins like the 1984 D Jefferson nickel remind us that value is not always obvious at first glance. Sometimes, it is hidden in details, history, and the stories we choose to tell. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just beginning to explore the world of coins, this nickel offers a compelling reason to look closer and appreciate the quiet power of everyday objects. Video dives deep into the fascinating world of the United States of America. 1996 P mint mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel, a coin born in a defining decade, shaped by American history, and quietly growing in importance among collectors. This is not just a coin. This is a time capsule, a symbol, and a surprising store of value. The 1990s were a period of transition in the United States. The Cold War had ended, technology was rapidly evolving, and America was stepping into a new digital age. Coinage from this era reflects stability, confidence, and continuity. Unlike wartime or emergency issues, coins of the 1990s were struck with consistency and precision. The 1996 Jefferson nickel stands as a perfect representative of that era, quietly dependable, well-crafted, and widely circulated, yet still capable of holding deeper meaning and worth. The Jefferson nickel has been part of American pockets since 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, it replaced the Buffalo nickel and introduced a more modern, statesman-focused design. On the obverse, we see Thomas Jefferson, third President of the United States and principal author of the Declaration of Independence. His portrait symbolizes intellect, democracy, and the foundation of American ideals. On the reverse, Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, represents heritage, architecture, and personal legacy. By 1996, this design had already stood the test of time for nearly 6 decades. The familiarity of the Jefferson nickel is part of its charm, and the 1996 P Mint mark issue continues this long tradition with subtle yet important distinctions. The P Mint mark on the 1996 Jefferson nickel tells us it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This is especially significant because, for many years, Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark at all. By the time 1996 arrived, the P had become a clear indicator of origin, quality, and official production standards. Philadelphia is the birthplace of United States coinage. Coins struck there often represent the standard by which others are measured. The 1996 P Jefferson nickel benefits from this legacy, showing strong strikes, clear details, and consistent metal composition. The 1996 Jefferson 5-cent nickel is composed of a copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel. This composition gives the coin its familiar silvery appearance and durable structure. It weighs 5 grams and measures 21.21 millimeters in diameter, with a smooth edge. While these specifications may sound technical, they matter deeply to collectors. Weight, diameter, and metal composition all contribute to authentication, grading, and long-term preservation. The 1996 P nickel meets all official standards with precision, making it a reliable and respected piece in any collection. When examining the obverse of the 1996 P Jefferson nickel, Jefferson's portrait appears calm and dignified. The lettering is crisp, with "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" clearly defined. The date, 1996, sits proudly, anchoring the coin firmly in its historical moment. On the reverse, Monticello is shown with balanced proportions and architectural clarity. The steps leading up to the building are an important detail for collectors. While full-step examples are rare and highly prized, even standard strikes from 1996 show respectable detail when well-preserved. Millions of 1996 P Jefferson nickels were released into circulation. Most were spent, handled, scratched, and worn down through everyday use. However, a smaller number were carefully saved, pulled from circulation early or preserved in rolls, sets, or collections. The difference between a heavily circulated coin and a well-preserved example can be dramatic. Luster, surface quality, and strike sharpness all influence desirability. This is where the 1996 P nickel begins to separate itself, as higher quality examples are far less common than their mintage numbers suggest. In recent years, collectors have shown renewed interest in modern-era coinage. Coins from the 1990s are no longer too new to matter. Instead, they are now old enough to spark nostalgia while still being accessible to newer collectors. The 1996 P Jefferson nickel benefits from this trend. It represents a bridge between classic 20th-century coinage and the modern era. As collectors seek complete date and mint mark sets, the demand for clean, high-quality examples continues to grow. What makes the 1996 P Jefferson nickel especially interesting is how it challenges assumptions. Most people overlook nickels entirely. They are small, common, and often ignored. Yet coins like this prove that value is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it is quiet, patient, and waiting to be discovered by those who take the time to look closer. This coin tells a story of American stability, thoughtful design, and the enduring legacy of one of the nation's most influential founders. It also reflects the precision and care of the United States Mint during a time of economic confidence. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or someone just beginning to explore the world of coin collecting, the 1996 P Jefferson 5-cent nickel deserves attention. It is a reminder that every coin has a story, and even the most familiar designs can carry hidden worth. Today we are diving deep into a coin that many people overlook every single day, a coin that quietly passes through pockets, jars, and drawers without anyone stopping to ask a very important question. What is this coin really worth? The focus of today's story is the United States of America 2002 P Mint Mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel, a modern coin with a surprising personality, a fascinating background, and a value story that deserves careful attention. This is not just a piece of spare change. This is a coin with history, artistry, condition-based rarity, and collector demand that continues to grow over time. Imagine holding this nickel in your hand. It feels ordinary at first, smooth and familiar. But as you look closer, you begin to notice details that most people never stop to examine. The portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front carries a sense of calm dignity, a reminder of one of America's most influential founding figures. Jefferson's likeness has appeared on the nickel for decades, yet each era brings subtle changes in style, strike quality, and finish that help collectors identify when and where a coin was made. The 2002 P Mint Mark version represents a specific moment in United States minting history, and that moment matters more than many people realize. The Philadelphia Mint, represented by the P Mint Mark, is the oldest mint in the United States. Coins struck there carry a legacy that stretches back to the earliest days of the nation. By the time the 2002 Jefferson nickel was produced, minting technology had become highly advanced, allowing for cleaner strikes and more consistent details. However, consistency does not mean perfection, and this is where collectors find opportunity. Some coins from this year stand out due to exceptional strike quality, flawless surfaces, or remarkable preservation. These are the pieces that rise above the rest and capture attention in the collector market. Turn the coin over and you see Monticello, Jefferson's historic home, carefully engraved on the reverse. The building symbolizes intellect, architecture, and American heritage. On well-preserved examples, the steps of Monticello appear sharp and clearly defined. Collectors pay close attention to these steps because they reveal how well the coin was struck and how much wear it has experienced. A strong strike with minimal wear can transform an ordinary-looking nickel into something far more desirable. What truly makes the 2002 P Jefferson nickel interesting is how it exists at the crossroads of modern circulation and collectible appeal. Many people assume that modern coins have no value beyond their face amount. That assumption causes countless potentially valuable coins to be overlooked. While it is true that most circulated examples remain common, coins that have been carefully preserved or never circulated tell a very different story. Condition is everything. A nickel that has avoided scratches, nicks, discoloration, and wear can command strong interest from collectors who specialize in modern United States coinage. Another factor that adds intrigue is the role of grading. Professional coin grading evaluates a coin's surface quality, strike, luster, and overall eye appeal. A high-grade example of the 2002 P Jefferson nickel stands out dramatically when compared to an average circulated piece. Under proper lighting, the luster can appear vibrant and reflective, giving the coin a fresh, almost newly minted look even after years have passed. Collectors seek these high-quality examples because they represent the best of what the mint produced during that year. The Jefferson nickel series itself has a dedicated collector base. Many collectors aim to complete full date and mint mark sets, and every coin plays an important role in that journey. Even a single missing coin can prevent a set from being complete. This steady demand keeps interest alive and helps support value for coins that meet higher standards of quality. The 2002 P nickel may not seem rare at first glance, but rarity in the coin world often comes down to condition rather than sheer quantity produced. Another fascinating aspect of this coin is how it reflects a specific time in American history. The early 2000s were a period of transition, both culturally and technologically. Coins from this era serve as tangible reminders of everyday life during that time. They were used to buy snacks, pay parking meters, and make exact change at local stores. Each coin has its own silent story, and collectors love the idea of preserving a perfect example that has survived untouched by heavy use. Collectors also appreciate the affordability and accessibility of Jefferson nickels as a category. Unlike gold or silver coins that can be intimidating to new collectors, nickels offer an entry point into serious numismatics. The 2002 P. Jefferson nickel allows collectors to study strike quality, mint characteristics, and grading nuances without the pressure of extremely high costs. This balance between accessibility and collectability is one of the reasons why interest in this coin continues to grow. For those who enjoy searching through rolls or examining old collections, finding a pristine example can be incredibly rewarding. The thrill of discovering a high-quality coin where others saw only spare change is one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting. The 2002 P. Jefferson nickel represents that possibility. It encourages curiosity, patience, and a trained eye, qualities that every successful collector develops over time. As you consider the value and worth of this coin, it is important to remember that the market is driven by collectors, condition, and demand. Coins that combine strong visual appeal with historical context often perform better than expected. The Jefferson nickel series has proven its staying power, and coins like this one continue to gain recognition among enthusiasts who understand what makes a modern coin truly special. Now, as promised, we come to the final and most important detail. After examining the history, design, condition, and collector demand of the United States of America 2002 P. Mint Mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel, the value worth money for a high-quality example is $26.275.